Hello automators, thanks for tuning in again. We're here to talk about all the latest from Amazon, all the latest stuff that they have going on, the new products, the new integration, everything at CES 2019. So let's get to it. The big news to me from Amazon is related to Ring. Now, we're going to go through a bunch of the new products, but ultimately what's happened is they've really improved their security and their alarm system. So essentially Ring Alarm and Ring Guard, or Amazon Guard rather, and that whole system is really coming into picture here with the products being released at CES 2019. I'm talking about 4 different sensors that they've released under the Ring brand that can be used to trigger security events. So a smoke and CO detector, a freeze and flood detector, something called the Dome Siren, which allows you to do both audible and visual alarms or signals basically when a security event has occurred, and something from First Alert as well that's a CO and smoke detector. So big integration there. All of those sensors are around the $30 to $40 range and can drive automation through the Ring alarm system. Not only that, but there are some additional basically integration with smart locks that they have here, and I'm going to have to read a couple. The Kwikset Smart Code 888 touchpad electronic deadbolt, the Schlage Connect Smart Z-Wave deadbolt, and the Yale Real Living Assure lock. And so, later what they're also saying is they'll have further integration with August products and the new Yale Assure lever lock. So for places that don't have deadbolts, that will also have integration with basically Ring Alarm and Ring Security. So really impressive. And all of those products are intended to be sold under Ring's online store, so you're able to go get them directly, and it's really showing the integration of different locks with their system. Not to be outdone, they have a new doorbell as well, and this doorbell is impressive as far as I'm concerned. It's going to be priced at $199 US. It goes over your peephole essentially, and this is the first device that I'll say really works for those people in apartments. Why do I say that? It has the ability to digitally block out different parts of the view basically from the camera on it. It goes right over your peephole, but it doesn't block the peephole, so you don't necessarily have to look at the camera feed. You can, and you can direct that camera feed to something like the Echo Show here, but you don't have to do that. You can just simply look outside your peephole just the same as you would have before. Additionally, with that blackout capability, there's all kinds of features that help those with apartments, on top of the ability to just install it without ruining something and being in trouble with your landlord. Lenovo has also showed us something that is big as far as I'm concerned. They went out, they produced a smart alarm clock for Google with the Google Assistant on board. They produced their Lenovo Smart Display with the Google Assistant on board. It was actually the first big display to market. And, they hadn't really said anything about Amazon's voice assistant and integration with that. Well, now they have the Smart Tab, and the Smart Tab is a 10-inch display. There's 2 models, the M10 and the P10, and they will be priced in that $200 to $300 range. And basically the upgrades are, RAM, hard drive space or drive space, camera, all the regular things you'd like to upgrade most of the time. But it's a 10-inch display that goes into a dock, and as it goes into a dock, it becomes an Echo Show. There were products out there that existed that Amazon has managed to get their voice assistant integrated with. Samsung TVs are the big one. Now, Bixby will be front and center on those devices, but Amazon integration through one of these products here in front of you, that will be possible. So you'll be able to control the TV in a lot of cases through Amazon's voice assistant. Something I said in my 2019 smart home predictions video was that Amazon was going to attack a lot of different parts of your home essentially to get their voice assistant integrated and on board. So we have 2 new products that they've shown up here in the kitchen, and I'm going to go room by room in terms of integration with new products. So In the kitchen, we saw the Smart Oven Plus from KitchenAid coming out with the ability to integrate with Amazon's voice assistant, as well as the Gourmet 11-in-1 multi-cooker. So that's a device you're going to plug in and then, not have plugged in. So it will be very interesting to see that integration and how quickly that connection is made. In the bathroom, Kohler has come out with a whole suite of smart home products that have Amazon voice assistant integration. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about a toilet, a bathtub, a 3-piece vanity set, lights, and a mirror. So all over the place there, a full suite of connected products. There's also the U by Moen. So this is a smart shower head that has integration with Amazon's voice assistant as well. So tons in the bathroom that you can instantly do with Amazon's voice assistant. So in terms of products that can go all over your house, we've seen the Daikin One Plus. That's an HVAC controller or a thermostat basically. A brand new product with Amazon's voice assistant capability on board. We've seen the C by GE product line expand and their ability to integrate with Amazon voice assistant. So C by GE now has multicolor bulbs and multicolor light strip as well that you can go ahead and integrate. There's also a new Caseta by Lutron fan speed control, and so it goes through their bridge basically, and it's an $80 addition here in the spring of this year. We also saw a new smart switch with Amazon's voice assistant on board and a tiny little speaker from Leviton. So, and that switch, it looks very, very complicated. It's going to take a neutral wire in order to install it, but very complex, can do a ton. Looks a lot like some of the other integrated switch products that we've seen. The current smart wall outlet, it has Amazon voice assistant integration. It analyzes data from what's going through your outlet basically, and then actually makes suggestions to you. So I'll be very interested to see if that's a skill basis here, where it will actually tell you it has a reminder or something and it wants to tell you something, or if it's just push notifications. So I'll be very interested to see that implementation. I like that it's trying to actually tell you, hey, you're using too much energy and you don't need it. The other thing we saw, and this isn't at CES necessarily, but IKEA put out something that integrates with their trad-free set of products here. Smart blinds for 99 euros will be sold here later in the year in Europe starting out. So 99 euros there. One interesting thing here from TP-Link, in the past we've seen them integrate more with Google and their assistant, but what was interesting this year as they put out a whole suite of new products, an outdoor camera, an indoor camera, a doorbell camera, and a new switch, outdoor outlet with 2 plugs on it and water resistant, tons of new products from them. But with their switch, it has a voice assistant on board. What they haven't said is which voice assistant, and they've been a bit coy about it. So I'm wondering if Amazon's worked their way in with TP-Link and has created a deeper integration there, but we don't have confirmation of that just yet. There are 5 new lights from Ring as part of a new series of lights. They have a wireless floodlight as well as a wired floodlight. That wired floodlight is the most expensive thing basically in this line for $70. The wireless one is $50, and the lumens really changes in terms of the amount of power that you're going to have coming from those lights. But they also have a spotlight and a path light, and overall they've put out 5 new products there for you, ranging from $20 to that $70. Within all of that, the $50 Ring Bridge allows you to create push notifications, automation in terms of your Ring cameras and any of those cameras that we talked about a little bit earlier that will integrate with Ring security or Ring alarm. So a really powerful interaction going on there as you think about the motion sensors that are being added as well. So incredible stuff from Ring overall as a smart home product maker and smart home security, really. One more product, I've seen this one here, Robot Temi, and I've actually been following these guys for a little bit through their development path on Instagram. And Robot Temi interesting product, $1,500 with Amazon's voice assistant on board. It will actually go and get you things. It doesn't have an arm to pick up things, but it can do a lot for you and will follow around the home. So we're seeing the growth of these robots, and their abilities are growing as well. One of my favorite products here, the Asus Lyra, is a smart home speaker with Amazon voice assistant on board for $220, but it also doubles as a mesh router or a mesh Wi-Fi router. So I like to see that kind of integration, especially as I'm putting tons of these kinds of products around my home. Why not get the Wi-Fi capability as well? And then I wonder about that setup process. I think that will be obviously very simple from an Amazon standpoint. In terms of other products here that are basically stereos or things that you can take with you, you know, the Klipsch 48 watt soundbar, 48 inches, 48 watts, and it will have Amazon integration there, not on board. There's also a number of products that you can go and take on the road with you. So, you know, as I speak about the Jabra Elite 85H, those are noise canceling headphones that have Google's Assistant, Apple's Assistant, and Amazon's Assistant all available. And what's interesting about those is you will go ahead and enable the voice assistant in order to interact with it, and then what will happen is your wake word will become assistant, not the specific one to that specific voice assistant. Sony's WH-1000X, they already have Google Assistant integration. They are getting Amazon's integration, as well as some new smart glasses that we saw here that kind of harken back to Google Glass as far as I'm concerned. Little thicker frames and stuff like that, but you know, they're called the Vuzix Blades, and those, they're able to take pictures, take video, and they have an integrated pair of headphones that they can send music to, as well as displaying picture and video for you on the screen themselves. Some other speakers from iHome here, these are very interesting to me. There's basically two models. What they have is Amazon's voice assistant on board using the Bluetooth connection on those, and they're entirely portable. So they're intended for you to go out, take with you, connect to your phone, but they use tap to talk instead of Amazon's wake word there in order to keep the device in a low power state, other than when you're using it, obviously, to play music. In terms of new smart doorbells and things at your door, the new locks, you know, we've talked lots about those, but we haven't talked about the OneLink bell here, and that integrates with other OneLink products, has Amazon voice assistant integration as well. We saw a product called Maximus by Kuna, and it actually has two different cameras on it, one that looks forward at you and then one that looks down at the packages on your step. So really interesting there. Most of these cameras we're finding are coming with subscription services, so that's a big deal. We've already talked about TP-Link and some of Ring's products as well, with these new deadbolts and the new cameras and the new smart home doorbells. One thing we hadn't talked about yet, the Schlage Encode Wi-Fi Smart Lock, $250 camera, but with an additional option to go up to $300 and get an Amazon Cloud Cam with that purchase. So direct integration there with Amazon's product and services. Now, there are a ton of new products at CES 2019. I've honestly never seen anything like it, and it's absolutely impressive from some of the other makers as well. I already have a Google video that's out, so go ahead, check that one out. It's just a couple of days before this one. Now, I'm also going to have to do something for Apple, because in some sneaky way they've been there. Samsung has done some incredible things at CES 2019 that we have to talk about. And of course, there's all these other makers out there that have done some very wild and very interesting things that will change how you'll approach home and life automation. So for now, everyone, thanks for watching. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you want more information about CES and Amazon Echo and their voice assistant, that whole series of products, including all of our demos and tutorials for how to apply these products to your life. So thanks again for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.